So it's come a little bit later than I usually expect Regen Day, but it's finally here. Regen Day is here. We're going to get some decent regens, fingers crossed, and hopefully maybe one or two Wonderkids in there as well. Hello and welcome back to The Real Deal. Let's just get straight into it, shall we? Apparently, this is going to be a so-called golden generation with Marco Antonio, the diamond, in a very strong group of players. So fingers crossed, we've got a decent level of youngsters coming through. Maybe one or two can even push into the first team. That is potentially me just being a little bit too wishful. I mean, already, I've not even touched this team. Zeus. What a name that is. Zeus, I love that. Zeus Perez apparently, but I just love it. It's called Zeus. And Isaac apparently should be decent players. Right, we're gonna view the youth candidates team. Last time we did a no look. This time I'm looking straight away, going straight in for the look. Look at potential. There's, oh my goodness, this is a strong side. I've got to say. There's 3 players with 5-star potential. Leonardo Meza, Marco Antonio and Martin Gonzalez Garcia. Both wingers and a goalkeeper as well, pretty decent. Gonzalo Valdez, a attacking midfield centre, has got 4.5-star potential. Where's Zeus? I want to see him. Oh, he's down. Oh, I wish Zeus was one of the guys with 5-star potential, but he's not. He's got 3-star potential. I've got to say, this is the best youth intake we have had so far. Let's have a quick look at Leonardo Meza. 1.5-star current ability, 5-star potential, 16 acceleration. He's got some decent pace, good first touch. He's very, very light and small, actually, so he's definitely a winger, not an inside forward, cutting inside and things like that. I don't know if his size might hinder him in future, I don't know, but he looks like a decent player on paper. Marco Antonio, he was dubbed to be the best one. Do his stats match up to that? I mean, 12 crossing is pretty decent, 12 pace, 12 acceleration, 10 technique. He looks like the real deal, actually, I've got to say. If we had worries, though, about the other guy being small, this guy's even smaller, 159 centimetres, 50 kilos. 50 kilos. He must be only like 7 stone or something like that, because I'm like 80-ish kilos, which is around 12 stone. So he must be about 7 stone. Like, that is ridiculously small. Hopefully, he's only 16 years old. Hopefully he grows a little bit. Maybe that, I don't know if that's actually a thing or not, but hopefully he does. Goalkeeper result, Martin Garcia. Goalkeeper, he's much bigger, 990 centimetres, 73 kilos, 15 years old, 1-star current ability, 5-star potential. He's got some decent stats on him, I've got to say. Aerial reach is very nice, reflex is very good. He could be a decent goalkeeper in future too. So they've got to play their little game against the youth team at some point. Let's look at Gonzalo Valdez actually while we're here as well. 4.5-star potential, could go up actually to 5-star potential. Again, he's got some alright stats on him. I love that teamwork, 17 as well. Temperamental personality though, so he could be a little bit tricky. In fact, what are the personalities of the other players as well? Garcia is ambitious, which is nice. Marco Antonio, fairly ambitious, which is pretty good. And Leonardo Meza is balanced. So nothing massive in terms of personality, like model professionals, like kind of, is that the best one? Model citizen maybe, or professional, or determined? That's kind of what you want. Fair play, a decent crop of youngsters there, I've got to say. I like that. The other youngsters that we had come through that are pretty decent as well also happen to be a winger and a goalkeeper, which is kind of a little bit annoying actually. To be fair, Diaz and Ngoiba, both up there still. Diaz has gone down to 4-star potential. That's probably because he's just a prick, basically. He hates everything and everyone. Every time I tried to get him to be like tutored by someone, he's like no. Every time I talk to him, like saying how's your training going, he's like he hates me, so I don't really like him. Julio Diaz though is doing pretty well for himself. He's got lots of green arrows, which is nice to see. We may get him on the bench next season, I think. Aitor, the goalkeeper's been playing for the B team this year. Has he been playing most of the games? He has been, actually been doing very well on a 7.11. So maybe this is the year Oviedo B get promoted into the actual Spanish second division. I think they're in division below the second division, so maybe they get promoted this year, and then we can actually see them in a proper league, which is good. Adriano Pelaez is also the right winger that we had on loan, who was meant to be a real star. He's gone on loan this season, actually. We thought it might be alright for him to go on loan. 26 appearances, 6 goals, 6 assists, 2 player of the match, 6.91 rating. I think that's pretty decent, actually, so far. Although saying that, he did get 4 and 4 for the B team, so maybe we should have kept him there. Well, it's good to see a lot of talented youngsters come into the lineup now, which is nice to see. It's good to see a lot of talented youngsters come through. We did have the youth facilities and training facilities upgraded very, very recently, if we can see what that is. They were completed back in January, so very, very recently. We'll make another board request now saying, can we improve the youth facilities again for next season? Please do this. Eager's like, yes, straight away. Love that. Thank you very much. Youth facilities coming. We'll be cheeky as well, shall we? And we'll ask for training facilities later on. Can we ask for... We can't ask for youth recruitment or junior coaching yet. So I will ask for training facilities now as well. Can we improve that to help them reach the potential? Straight away, yes to both of those requests. So apparently, maybe October apparently is when they're going to be finished. I don't know if that's actually true or not. That might be when it starts actually, but this is a planning phase and it maybe starts then, I don't know. But pretty good stuff there. More youth facilities coming, more training facilities coming, and a great crop of youngsters in the youth intake. This is fantastic. Right, that's out of the way now. Let's get into today's episode properly. Today, we've got a home game against Barcelona and then an away game against Betis. Since you were last here, we only played the 2 games and they were both wins. Narrowly beating Zaragoza 3-2. Can't tell what your name is scoring in the 92nd minute, although he did have a goal disallowed for offside and we did miss a penalty, so it could have been a wider margin of the win. We then followed up with a 2-1 win against Villarreal, who were very close to us in the table. It was a really close game, just the 1 goal in it. Raul Thomas scoring in the 80th minute from quite an acute angle, actually, to make sure we got the 3 points there. So it's been fantastic stuff the past 2 games after that disappointment of losing 4-1 to Atletico Madrid. And now we've got a great crop of youngsters. I'm actually really excited going forward into the next few games. I should say as well, actually, if you want to be named after one of these regions, then you can do that. In the Patreon, you can donate to a certain level and you can get your name after a region, or you can name a region after you if that's what you want. You can also sponsor any player as well. That's also in the Patreon. There's also loads of other stuff in there as well, so I'll leave a little link on the top there. There's also a link in the description, there always is, or at the end of the video end card. So go and check it out if you've not already. Just have a little look. It can't hurt, can it? Right, on to the game against Barcelona. I know last time the 5 at the back didn't work very well against Atletico, but I have to use this against Barcelona because I think we get absolutely slaughtered if we use anything else. The past 2 games were wins using this formation, actually. So I was kind of tempted to use that against Barcelona, but I just don't think it's going to work. I think we have to stick with this and just try it again. Right, kickoff is upon us then, and we're just looking for damage limitation today, I think. You know, to expect to beat Barcelona, we're not expected to beat them, of course. So it's more of just maybe only losing 1-0 or trying to sneak a 0-0 draw, something like that, essentially. I did forget to show you the table, I think. We're still doing pretty well. We're still sitting like in that top half now, currently in 8th. So we did march back up there after those 2 wins, but we're still a few points off outside European football. So it won't happen this season unless teams ahead of us really slip up and we actually start to play pretty well and win a few games. As it stands, drawing this game right now, we're 3 points off Villarreal. So when we probably end up losing, we'll be 4 points behind them. They've still got the game to play this weekend, I think, as things stand. Oh no, they don't actually. So you know, we could still be 3 points or 4 points behind them after this game week. But Malaga have still got. I mean, we've just gone down, so we're back to 4 points behind now. We'll look at that goal in a second after I just look through this quickly. It's going to take a huge ask to get into these Europa League places. So I don't think it's going to happen. I think we may just be best of the rest. Let's have a look at this goal then. Mario Fernandes put it into Messi, put it back to him. He put it across to Suarez, and Suarez just did the business at the far post. Easy stuff for Barcelona, that. Corner then for Barcelona, put in, Rakitic out to Eden Hazard. Eden Hazard comes off PK, although he looks offside to me. It's been ruled out. It says down there, ruled out. The offside goal thing's up there now. You can also see that I missed the goal originally, so okay. Half time, 1-0 to Barcelona. Not too bad, I've got to say. I'm going to go aggressive. Show me something else in the second half, just to see if they step up a little bit. We've not been too bad, to be fair, but I would like us to be a little bit more competitive in this. I think the shock of the season is, one, us actually being in the top half of the table, not being in a relegation battle, and actually on the edge of European football. But number 2, Eibar still in the Champions League places. They were up there at the start of the season. I just kept thinking they're going to fall down at some point, but they've stayed up there. And now with only there must be 8 games to go or so after this, or maybe 7 games to go after this. They're still up there, and they're still in a shout of Champions League football, which I think is incredible. So fair play to Eibar as Barcelona's cross. Not the best. Berke Erza can collect it, and now has a chance to show some distribution as he puts it up towards, well, Barcelona players. And now Suarez can come back with it. All our men basically behind the ball, but they still manage to get through. And Mario Fernandes gets the cross in. Suarez is there. It's 2-0 Barcelona. They're just too good. Again, here come Barcelona. Hazard actually puts the ball in. Eden Hazard. He moved for quite a small fee for Eden Hazard. He moved from Chelsea to Barcelona for 42 million, I think, in the end. which I think is a real steal for a player of his quality and for Barcelona. So he moved at the start of this season, I believe, actually. Either way, Raul Thomas has been put forward into Lozano. We've got a consolation goal. I was kind of to catch up on that a little bit. Lovely ball forward. Raul Thomas into Lozano, who now has like the all-time Oviedo assist record, I think, or at least in modern times since this started, as far as I'm aware. Although it might be all-time, I don't know, because usually the goal-scoring one's all-time. In the meantime, though, Barcelona still coming forward. Umtiti on the ball now. Tries to put a cross in past David Cameron. He did. And Messi got on the end of it. Somehow out-jumping Varela. I mean, I assume Varela isn't huge because he's more of a wing-back than a centre-back. But Messi isn't very tall at all. So for him to be out-jumping Varela is a little bit annoying. Borja Fernandez, though, out of nowhere, gets another consolation goal for us. Can we actually come back into this and get a draw now? That was out of nowhere. Fantastic stuff. Ruiz on the ball up to Raul Thomas, who's in behind the defence. And ter Stegen, though, makes a decent save. He came out and in no man's land, really. Thomas could have chipped him or put it either side of him, but in the end, he made a decent save. The corner wasn't the best cleared, and only as far as Ruiz, who had a shot that was only narrowly wide. Right, final 5 minutes or so then. I'm going to bring Febas up there as an advanced playmaker on attack. Sunset will be more of a... Oh my, we've just scored. Cancel that. We have just scored a goal. Right, let's watch this back then. Corner comes in from Febas. Headed clear by PK. Ruiz de Thomas in the back of a net by... Who got it in the end? Sunset got it in the end. I didn't say there. Sunset grabs the goal. In that case, let's not make any changes. This could be huge. I was not expecting a 3-3 draw with I wasn't expecting anything really with Barcelona. I was expecting us to lose 2 or 3-0 really. To come and have a game with them. It's now 3-3. Burke makes a decent save. Actually goes out for a free kick. I guess it was offside or something in the end. But with a few seconds to go, that's it. Oviedo 3, Barcelona 3. Every time we play Barcelona and Cameron, we do pretty well actually against them. And I've got to say, I'm overjoyed with that. That's fantastic. I'm so surprised how well we've done this season. I did not expect this at all. I don't think any of you expected it. In fact, the comment section in episode 1, I remember looking at it. I replied to the comments late. I do apologise for replying to them late. I have to say I'm going to be better and reply to them quicker. But I do remember reading those comments thinking, wow, like everyone says we're going to come like 11th or 14th. That's probably a little bit ambitious, but where we've actually come and where we're actually going to finish this season, I think, is incredible. Well, we've avoided relegation. Congratulations, boys. That's not happening. The Thomas, George and Febas all getting their bonuses for avoiding relegation. Fantastic stuff. I love that. The only issue with doing so well this season is that the board are going to be expecting probably at least mid-table next season now. Like if we finish top half, I think they're going to be expecting mid-table at least, which is something I'm worried about because I don't know if it's just been like a season of luck or anything. I don't understand why we've done so well or why we're doing so well in 8th position right now. It just means there's more room for error and need to get sacked essentially because right now it's avoid relegation. And even if we got relegated, I think most people would predict us to be relegated anyway when we came up. So if we got relegated, I probably wouldn't have been sacked. Next season, if we get relegated, in fact, if we don't even get like top half next season or mid-table, I'm probably going to get sacked. Right. We're finally here at the Betis game. It's taken a little while to get here with all the other games going at different times. Literally every game, different time. It takes like a while to simulate it. It's just annoying. So we're finally here. The last game kicking off this weekend. Villarreal, crucially, lost their game as well. So we have to keep an eye on that. We need to move back to this winger formation for this particular game. So Lozano's going to stay up front. Cordoba and Cantal, what your name is, are going to come back on the pitch. Katic is going to come off for... Well, let's not bring Williams on. We'll bring Dorsch on. Now he's back from a little suspension. Williams also played the other day in the under-19s game just to get some fitness back. I'm going to start Sunset today instead of Febas as well, just because I just like that, I think, basically, just to give him a little bit of game time. Other than that, everyone else looking fit. Let's get into the game against Betis. Right, kickoff is upon us today. Quite a long pitch at Betis by looks of things. I had to zoom out quite a bit there to get it all in within the things. As I say, we are the last game to kick off this particular weekend. So a win here today, and we can have a look at see where we might end up in a second after this little manoeuvre we do. So Burke out to George at the back there, trying to build from the back. Betis not really letting us get out from the back, having to punt it long rather than play it short, which is kind of what we like to do. We like to play out from the back. Here they come, Betis. Christian Teo on the ball into Gamma at the back post, who puts it just wide. Let's quickly look at the table. A win today, 3 points, 2 more points, would put us into 7th, providing we get some goals as well to help with the goal difference. We could go into 7th today with a win, and Lozano tried to get us that early goal in this game. That hasn't quite worked out, but decent little start there for us. Free kick then for Betis. Pizzella on the ball, quite a short free kick, plays it back to Gutierrez, a free kick taker, into their number 11. Gutierrez back on the ball. They're playing it around. We're keeping them out for now. He's in behind the defence. They've scored a controversial goal there. Pinto's error apparently held onto the ball far too long under pressure, just got tackled, I think. And Real Betis have gone 1-0 up, which I don't like. Well, we were 1-0 down in the last game against Barcelona at half-time, so I kind of think that I expect to see a better showing from the second half. I kind of think that we could do it again, especially against Betis, who aren't as good as Barcelona, obviously. We may have to put a few more forward men on the pitch, maybe move Dorsch into that attacking midfield position, bring an attacking midfielder on. I think we might do it now, but actually we'll bring him on as a striker instead. We can bring Raul de Thomas on the pitch. We're going to go attacking as well. Raul de Thomas will come on. Cordoba and Cantel, what your name is, not playing too well. Strana's not on the bench. I must have forgot to put him on there in between games and things like that. Ruiz is going to come on in the middle for Borja Fernandez as well. Hopefully this will just change things a little bit for us. Maybe just make it a little bit more competitive in the final half hour of the game. We do need to get back into it. If we can draw against Barcelona, we can do the same sort of thing here against Real Betis. Unfortunately, decent little effort there from us has resulted in a corner. Not quite the goal we wanted. Canto, what your name is going to swing this one in, but it's not a good one. Cleared by the first man. All right, we're going to shout push forward to the boys. Canto, what your name is down on a 6.1 now. He is a real mixed form person. Some games he is absolutely incredible. Some games he's really, really poor. He's a real mixed bag. Very inconsistent. Don't really know what you're going to get every game he plays, which is a little bit annoying. I think next season we have to look for a right winger who has a little bit more about him, a bit more consistency at least. But Sunset gets on the end of that long ball, plays it out to Cordoba. Cordoba into Raul de Thomas, who puts it in the back of the net. It's 1-1. We can search for a winner now. We're back in this game. Possession-wise, 60-40 to Betis, by the way. That is awful. We need to sort of do something about that. But the amount of shots we're having is pretty good. 15 minutes to go then. We have to grab a winner to move ourselves into 7th in the table. And George nearly gives us that goal that we needed, putting it just over the bar for a goal kick. Can't tell what your name is. Gets on the end of a good ball forward there to Thomas. Edge of the area. Sunset saved by the goalkeeper. We're really pushing now for this final goal. We need it. Goal kick for Betis now up towards Christian Teo. David Cameron gets in the way of it though with the header, although the clearance wasn't great, and it goes out to Gamma on that left-hand side. Christian Teo has come in to break Oviedo Hearts there. That was really against run of play, I've got to say. I know possession-wise they're absolutely on top, but in terms of stats and other things like that, we've been playing a lot better. But I just got to think it's this possession probably that's sort of let us down a little bit. Christian Teo once again has a shot from distance. There's a few minutes left up added time, 4 minutes to go. But unless we can magic something up right now, I think we're going to be losing this game, unfortunately, which really is a bit of a shame because we could have gone 7th in the table today. Instead, Canto, what your name is, just puts it wide. Probably the final chance of the game for us. And there we go. Betis 2, Oviedo 1. A bit of a sad way to end that episode. We could have gone into 7th, which would have been fantastic. I'm not happy with the performance out there, boys, actually. I'm going to say that. They all seem fired up, which is pretty good. We weren't quite at our best there. We stay in 10th position, but we could have been in 7th. But still 6 games to go this season, so we could still potentially sneak into that 7th place, but it's going to be a huge ask. Next episode then, going to be the final 2 games of the season. It's Real Madrid and Valencia, not Villarreal. It's Valencia last game of the season. So it still could be a pretty big fixture as they're sitting 8th as well. They're looking for that European football too. So it could be an incredible end to the season. Thank you very much for watching today's episode. I hope you have enjoyed it. Unfortunately, couldn't get the win today, but we inch slightly close to the end of the season and to European football as well. So thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed the video, make sure you do drop a like on it. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. And I will see you next time for some more Real Deal action.